everybody, I'm Rachel. Thanks so much for joining me for another Monday Motivation. We've been talking about getting outside our comfort zones and how important it is to do so in order to grow and change and evolve and really be the best versions of ourselves. In order to get outside our comfort zones, we need to really let go of other people's expectations. We can't worry about what other people think. We have to live by our own standards and do the things that we want to do with our lives. We also have to let go of that fear of being imperfect. Nobody's perfect in this world, and we're going to make mistakes no matter what we do. We might as well try something new and make mistakes in that. We also need to just make that decision to take the first step. It doesn't have to be this dramatic, life-changing, epic experience. It's just putting one foot in front of the other. It's just making that initial decision. And once we're on the path, once we actually take that first step, it's totally fine to change course when we feel that something isn't right. That path isn't permanent. Nothing in this world is permanent. That's actually what we're going to talk about today, the concept of impermanence. Impermanence is nothing to be afraid of. It's actually quite empowering. When we think of impermanence, we sometimes think of our lives in general and how short life really is. Sometimes we end up thinking about death. Not to be morbid or anything, but we do. When we think about how life is so impermanent, we think about how little time we actually have on this earth, and therefore how precious it is, and how we should take advantage of every opportunity that we live and breathe. Impermanence isn't something to be feared. It can be something to embrace. And it's something that when we do embrace it, it can change our entire mentality. And we find that we're less afraid to do new things. We're less afraid to try something new. We're less afraid to make a mistake. We're less afraid to disappoint people or not live up to other people's expectations, not be perfect. We're less afraid to get outside our comfort zones. Everything on this earth changes. We change, animals change, the winds change, the landscape changes, the weather changes. Everything changes. Nothing is the same day to day. Sometimes it's easy to get all cozy and think everything is just going to stay the same way for the rest of our lives, but that's not true. And it's very, very dangerous to think that way. Because then when something does change, we're startled. We're surprised. We don't know how to adapt. We don't know what the heck's going on, and we sometimes end up blaming all the external circumstances instead of thinking to ourselves, oh, well, yeah, nothing lasts forever. It's much more healthy to think of life as something impermanent and to think of everything in it as impermanent. Everything should change. Everything should evolve and grow. And here's the thing. We don't have any control over any of that. We don't have control over life and death. We don't have control over other people's changes and growth. We don't have control over the weather. We don't have control over so much of our existence. The only thing that we can ever control is the way that we think about our existence. It's so important to understand that nothing in life is permanent. Everything should change, and we can't control that. Therefore, what our job is to adapt, to respond in a way that's healthy for us, that keeps us on our path or allows us to change directions, so that we can continue to grow and we can continue to evolve and change in the face of all this impermanence. Impermanence can be empowering because it gives us this sense of an end. And just like thinking of our limited time here on earth, it enables us to find the richness in every single moment and encourages us to be very present in the here and now, not thinking about the past, not worrying about the future, just thinking about right now, every single moment, because we're not really guaranteed a next moment. We're never guaranteed a tomorrow. We're not guaranteed a next week. We're not guaranteed another 10 years. You can't bank on that. Anything can happen. That's not meant to be scary. That's not meant to be negative or cynical or anything like that. It should be empowering, because the only thing that we can do is really embrace what we have right now, and what we have right now is so much. And we have everything in front of us, everything that we need in order to let go of people's expectations, let go of the fear of being imperfect, taking that first step, staying on the path, changing directions, changing our minds, understanding what's really important to us, and making decisions based on all of those things. It's empowering, really, to think about the impermanence of life. It provides motivation, it provides impetus to actually start something and not worry about the past, not worry about the consequences in the future, to just kind of go with the flow. Go with the flow of life, because everything is changing around us and evolving around us. If we're not changing and we're not evolving, we're not really a part of life. Think about it. Please go to the website and share your thoughts. Email me if you have any questions. Sign up for our newsletter to make sure you get this in your inbox every single Monday. We're going to continue talking about impermanence and comfort zones and all sorts of stuff in weeks to come. Please stay tuned. Thanks so much and have a great week.